AC! Dad!
Spider-Sense going crazy.
Don't touch that thermostat, you crazy? Hey everybody, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be upgrading my thermostat to the Ecobee Smart Thermostat, which has Alexa built in and a remote sensor. So let's not waste any time and let's jump right into it. So keeping my son's pesky little fingers off my thermostat was not the main reason why I wanted a smart thermostat. The main reasons are I live in a 3-story townhome, so of course up on the higher levels it's much hotter. So now I can have remote sensors in each of those areas and then keep track of that temperature and then lower the temperature dynamically as it gets hotter in some of these summer months. The other reason is now I can integrate it with some of my other smart home devices, and there's some claim of some cost savings by using some of the certain features with the Ecobee Smart Thermostat. Now you're probably wondering why I chose the Ecobee Smart Thermostat over any of the other brands. Of course, the big one is the Nest. One of the reasons is the functionality with the remote sensors. The remote sensors for their Ecobee is much more robust, and you can add on up to like 40, and it has a motion sensor built in. So eventually I can add a sensor in almost every room so I can keep track of the temperature from every part of my home. If you are considering getting a smart thermostat, you'll definitely want to check the manufacturer of your HVAC unit and then check the compatibility of whatever thermostat you choose, because there are some HVAC units that are not compatible. Now this model of the Ecobee Smart Thermostat that has Alexa built in and a remote sensor goes for about $249. I was lucky enough to get it for about $199. I've been watching it for quite a few weeks now, so I saw that the price dropped and I just pulled the trigger on it. Thermostat is compatible with most HVAC systems such as gas, electric, oil, and dual fuel. Let's quickly go over the specs on this Ecobee Smart Thermostat. It has a 3.5-inch LCD touchscreen, 1.5 gigahertz quad-core processor, 4 gigabytes of flash memory, 512 megabytes of DDR4 RAM. It has a temperature, humidity, occupancy, and proximity sensor. Also has built-in voice, microphone, and a speaker, and a far-field voice recognition. Supports dual-band Wi-Fi at 2.4 and 5 gigahertz and Bluetooth 5.0. Supports WPA and WPA2 encryption. It also works with Apple HomeKit, Amazon Alexa, Samsung SmartThings, and IFTTT, and much more. There's also a 3-year limited warranty when you purchase this Ecobee Smart Thermostat. So in the box, you'll get all the mounting hardware you'll need to install it on your wall. You'll also get a mounting plate that can be used to cover up the existing area. Let's say that you have some holes there, or you don't have the paint and you don't want to get involved in that whole little project. You can put that plate to hide everything. You also get the smart sensor with a little stand, or to mount it to the wall with an adhesive bracket. You also get the instructions and a quick start guide, as well as a label to label your existing wires so you can keep track of it. The last thing that's included is a PEK, a power extender kit. This is going to let you install the thermostat on a HVAC system that doesn't have a C-wire. So you'll need to double check your HVAC system, like I said before, and make sure you have a C-wire. If you don't, then you'll need to use this power extender kit. So you'll need to have a little hands-on experience in dealing with wiring. I thought the install was pretty easy, at least it was for me on my system. Before you do anything, you want to make sure to shut off the electrical circuit breaker for your HVAC unit to avoid getting electrocuted. Before you completely remove your old thermostat, make sure you take a quick photo using your phone or whatever you have handy of the way the wiring is set up, so that way you can make sure that each wire is correctly labeled and set up when you install the new thermostat. And once you do snap that photo and you're 100% sure you have all the correct wiring down, you could also use that labels that is included so you can make sure to keep track of which wire is which. Once you do remove that old thermostat, you'll want to grab the new mounting bracket for the Ecobee Smart Thermostat, mount it to your wall, and then from there you'll start inputting the wires one by one, and you can use that picture you took before as a reference, or if you wired them using those labels. Once you put everything in the appropriate spot, then you can flip the breaker back onto your HVAC unit, pop in the new Ecobee Smart Thermostat, and it should boot up if you did everything correctly. Once Ecobee is powered on and booted up, it'll walk you through step by step, asking you a series of questions. Some of the questions are pretty straightforward, but if you're not sure, you can definitely refer back to the instruction guide or just go to their website. Some of the questions might not apply to you, just depends on the type of setup you have in your home. Then once you answer all the series of questions, you can connect it to your Wi-Fi in order to utilize the app and all the other smart home features. Now this is the Ecobee app that is fully compatible with Android and iOS devices. Here on the main page, this is where the thermostat is located. I named it main floor, and this is the current temperature. Now this number here is an average of the two sensors, and that can be adjusted in a setting that we'll talk about later. And you can adjust your temperature easily by pressing and holding this little right side of the bar. And here we'll go into main floor. We can go into the specifics and then view all the settings and change them accordingly. Here down on the menu button, we can get a lot more settings and features that we can adjust. Here in system, we can see what mode it's in. Obviously it's under cool because it is really hot. And here is your sensors configuration. From here you can set a couple different things. There's a smart home and smart away feature. Is a feature I don't really need right now since I'm working from home and everybody should be staying home as much as possible to obviously not expose themselves or anybody else. And once you do enable it, it'll determine whether you're home or away, and then change the temperature in order to get the most comfort and the most cost savings whenever you're home or not. Now the follow me mode, this is what I was saying before about the average of the two sensors. So if you were to enable this, it's going to detect which room is being occupied since each sensor has a motion sensor. So if the room is unoccupied and it doesn't sense any motion, then the system will not try to run. And then in each of the sensors, you have the ability to set whether or not you want the comfort settings to apply to each of the sensors. Here in schedule, pretty straightforward. You set your schedule for when you're sleeping, home or away, and you set your temperatures accordingly for when it's heating or cooling. Here in comfort settings, you have the home, away, and sleep. Here you set your temperatures that you like to keep during the time you're home or when you leave, and then when you go to bed. And then this will always apply to your schedule and your sensors depending on how you set it up. And then you can set a custom comfort level and set it to whatever you like. Here under reminders and alerts, you can have the Ecobee remind you at specific points or events that happen. So for instance, we can have a reminder to be set up so that way whenever we need to change a filter at a certain time of the month, you can do that, or a UV lamp or maintenance. And you can have alert preferences, so if it drops to a certain level. Now here in thermostat preferences, here you have the ability to name your device or the location, whichever you prefer, and the type of temperature display, whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius, and then the heating ranges, your cooling ranges, and then this is the hold duration, so you can have it only hold for a specific amount of time. And here you can view your local weather. Now here on this button, this is just a quick menu to do quick changes on the fly, and it also lets you know what's running. And then this is the Ecobee thermostat and the Ecobee app are pretty similar. They have the same UI. A lot of the functions are mirrored, and I'll probably speed through most of this video because you'll be looking at a majority of the same things. The only difference on the thermostat itself, you're gonna get a lot of fine tuning specifically for your HVAC system. Depending on the type of accessories you have in the HVAC, you can set really specific tuning depending on the temperature, compressor, threshold, and humidity levels. You can also set up a vacation mode, so once you enter your departing and arriving dates and time, it'll run as minimally as possible when you're on vacation, and it'll also ensure that it reaches the temperature you set before you get home from vacation. There's another cool feature called Smart Recovery, and the Ecobee will use the data it's collected on your HVAC system in order to determine the correct amount of time to heat and cool your home based on your schedule. So it'll try to anticipate how long it's going to take to reach that temperature. You can also set an access control, so that way you can lock out anybody touching your thermostat. So here's what you can expect by using the built-in on the device. I'm going to enable it now. What's the temperature upstairs?
The upstairs temperature is 77 degrees.
Tell me a joke.
Baby Groot and Baby Yoda walk into a bar. The bartender says, "Let me guess, bottle service?"
Play some music. ask Ecobee to cancel hold.
Okay, now following your schedule.
So I've had the thermostat installed for about 2 weeks now, and I'm learning new things every day. First thing I've learned is when you do install a new thermostat, it'll take 30 days to get the Ecobee Plus, which is part of a free upgrade that Ecobee will offer in order to get some further cost savings. So if you do enable the Ecobee Plus, they're actually going to enroll you into a program with your utility company, and they're gonna send information to them, and they're gonna basically have data on the peak times and off-peak times. For instance, the Ecobee will dynamically change the usage in your home depending on if it's a peak period or off-peak period. If it knows that the cost is going to be going up for that specific time of day or month, then the Ecobee is not going to run or cool or heat your home, whatever the case may be. It'll actually wait, or it'll do it beforehand or after that peak period. I haven't been able to enable that yet because, like I said, I haven't had it installed for 30 days in order for them to send me that registration or that free upgrade. So I've read some complaints of other Ecobee users and the Ecobee Plus. Some users are not too happy about all the data that's being sent and shared with your utility company, and it is very difficult to disable once you do enable it. I can't really talk to that just yet, so I'm gonna wait and hold off on enabling that just yet until I get some more information and do some further research. So I like the peace of mind and ease of use of the Ecobee. It's really simple to set up. Once you set up your comfort levels, it's kind of a set it, forget it. You set your comfort levels, whatever temperature you like when it's in the winter or in the summer months, and the Ecobee will kind of just take over from there. I rarely check it from now on. I already know what temperatures I want in the home. The Ecobee will slowly start to learn your HVAC system and your comfort levels, and then start to preheat or pre-cool your home, so that way it knows when to run and when not to run. And I like the control of the system and having that app and having the ability to communicate with devices, so we can easily change the temperature or let me know what temperature it is in my home. So it's just another convenience to have. Now, I can't really talk about the cost savings just yet until I get some more use out of it in the next few months. Then I'll know for sure whether or not it's saving me any money. So that's gonna be it for this video, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, you can find a link in the description if you're interested in this thermostat. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and put some comments below and let me know which thermostat you prefer. And I'm out of here, everybody.